Ahoy, and welcome to today's video. You join me in a lovely V6 Amarok. It's not mine. Grungy E46s, specifically my E46. Alright, let's pull it all back out and let's do some cleaning. So, you may have seen in a previous video, maybe about a month or two back, that there was a bit of mold on the interior of the car. Now, for me personally, that's a pretty big problem because I'm very sensitive to mold. We used to live in a house that had mold in it and I used to get sick all the time, amongst a whole bunch of other problems I've got with my immune system. But anyway, let's not dwell on that. So anyway, there was mold in the E46 and I just really wasn't sure what I should do with it. Do I just sell the car, or do I try and pull everything out, find out where the water's leaking from, and then address the problem accordingly? Normally I would have just sold the car and I would have notified the seller something along the lines of there's a water leak and there's mold in it. But the thing is that it's actually my first car, so it's got quite a bit of sentimental value to me. It's not worth heaps, but that kind of goes besides the point. So, a really busy road. I think we're on. So yeah, do I sell it, or do I pull everything out, find the problem and then fix it, assuming that I can salvage a lot of the components and parts and that? So I decided that it was worth a second look. So anyway, I did some more digging and I found a particular wet patch on the driver's side rear carpet. So I pulled the rear section of the carpet out, and the problem was immediately realized. So on the floor pan on E46 coupes at the very least, I'm sure it's the same with the sedan, but there's actually a grommet there's like a rubber grommet. It seals the inside of the car to the outside. The actual grommet was nowhere to be seen. It was completely missing, which is pretty exciting. So anyway, I found the problem. Well, I found one of the problems. Another problem I had was that whenever there was really heavy rain, on the driver's side door card there's like a pocket, and this would often have a fair bit of water in it. So that seems it's either the driver's side door seal or the actual door insulation membrane component. So I inspected the door seal. It doesn't look great, but to be fair, it doesn't look too bad either. Considering how bad the actual door seal is, it doesn't quite equate to how much water would fill up in the door pocket. So I wasn't sold on that idea. So I removed the door card, and the actual door membrane was completely missing. It just was not there. I don't know where it went, or I don't know, I've got no idea. Anyway, it's just not there. So it seems like that problem in particular is the door membrane, but at the very least it's worth fixing that before I start trying to diagnose other potential water leaks, if that makes sense, because there's clearly a problem with that. So we'll fix that first and see if a leak returns. So I'm currently on my way to Bunnings to try and piece together something that's going to work. The actual door membrane, it's about $150, which honestly I thought it was going to be more than that, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that I kind of need a solution pretty quickly because it rains a fair bit here. So I'm going to come up with some sort of temporary solution here at Bunnings, and we'll see how we go. We're going to come up with a DIY door membrane, and then we're also going to buy some vinegar, and a few other things to kill any of the remaining mold, and we're just going to spray it everywhere. And then I think that will be okay in terms of coming up with a solution for this. But there's only one way to find out. Alright, let's go and see what we find. Absolute bargain. Alright, and we're back. Don't get too excited. Check out your MC Garage hats and hoodies. Everything you need. That's a pretty cool logo, I reckon. I made it myself. You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Right, so we've got some weatherproof tape. So we've got a tarp and we've got some weatherproof tape. So this is going to work out quite nicely, I think. I know this is kind of a ghetto solution, but it really is better than not having anything at all. Tell you what, these Amaroks are really good things to drive. It just drives like a car. That's the best way I can sum it up. But yeah, we'll get back to the car. Oh, I didn't buy vinegar. Damn it. Lovely day for it. I'll check in with you when I get back, and I'll show you what I mean with this door. All right, so we're here with the E46. Smells much better now. It doesn't smell like mold or anything. So the plan with this is to at least get it to the point from which I can at least use it maybe on the track. I don't really want to register it at least just yet because, well, I don't really need to be paying for reg-owned insurance on 2 cars, especially I would hardly use this. This wouldn't get used that much. So that's what it really needs is some new brakes. Apart from the fact that they're old and crusty, they aren't going to be good enough to go on track. So there's that, and also I do have a turbo kit for this, and I'd quite like to put it on. I've actually got the turbo. It's actually under my bed. I've got a GT30 and also a TD04 from a Mitsubishi Evo. Stock one. TD04 is internally gated, so it would be easier to make the exhaust, but at the same time I also want to put quite a big turbo on it on purpose. So because this engine's completely stock. So yeah, this engine's completely stock. I'd probably either go for, so it's got M52 headers on it, so I reckon I'm going to make a Y pipe from where the actual extractors join up, and then I'll mount it. I'll do like a custom bottom mount setup, and then I'll run the charge pipe all the way up here on the other side of the engine, like underneath and then up here, and I'll put it straight into the intake manifold. I'm probably going to be I'm considering doing a water to the air inline sort of charge cooler, just because it'd be easier for packaging, and there's quite a lot of room where I can actually mount the actual heat exchanger. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing, and yeah, I think we'll be onto a good thing. I'm just gonna reflash the stock ECU. I'll just make up my own tune, and ideally I'd like to run it on E85 for a few reasons. The main reason being just that it's a lot safer for the actual engine, and if for some reason it does run lean, or if it does run lean, E85 is a lot more forgiving, as well as the fact that it's a lot safer. You're much less likely to get knock using E85. The third reason is that E85, you need about 30% more fuel. So therefore, you've got more volume coming out of the exhaust, which will actually help spool the turbo more quickly, because the turbo that I'm going to be putting on is way too big, but I'm doing that on purpose. So Ideally, I want to get boost around maybe 3.5 to 4,000 RPM. Just past, like somewhere past peak torque is the main goal, because this engine's on stock rods, pistons. Well, it's completely stock other than an M54 B30 intake cam, which is a little bit larger than the M54 B22, which is what's in this one. So, but if I run E85, the fuel injectors are not going to be enough. So what I'm thinking of doing is also running charge pipe injection. So I'll just put like a hob switch and an actual port injector on the charge pipe. I'll drill it and tap it, and then I can run full E85. So that'll be quite exciting. I'll just link it up to a vacuum line, and then whenever it sees over, I don't know, 6 PSI, 7 PSI, then it'll open up. So that'll help me out a lot. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this little update. I just really want to get this going for a few reasons. One, life's short, and I've wanted to do this for ages. Like the last couple of years have just gone by so quickly. So it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. So I just need to get stuck into it. So yeah, I'll see you in a couple of days.